Reb Noson speaks about, and Rabbi Nachman, of course, Reb Noson develops it in Likutei Halachot, the laws of what's called Birkot HaShachar Lachahei. He speaks about the power of free will. The strongest force in the world is called the Koach HaBechira, the power to choose. That this is the one thing that Hashem has left up to you, that you can choose which pathway you decide to take in life. And that's quoted from Rashi on Parshat Balak, where he says, "Kebederech shadam rotzeh lelech ba molichim oto." The pathway in which a person wishes to be led upon, that is the path that he's led on. And the classic example given is Bilam, on wanting to curse the Jewish people on behalf of Balak. That even though Hashem indicated to Bilam that it's wrong, still Bilam went ahead to do it. And Reb Noson goes on to show that it's ridiculous. You know, Bilam receives a prophecy from Hashem. Hashem's telling him, don't do it. And still Bilam wants to do it. And then he sends him the indication with the donkey 3 times, until after the 3rd time the donkey opens its mouth and tells him that you're going on the wrong path. And still Bilam continues to want to, deep down inside, to go. And on the outside he's telling Hashem, okay, if you tell me to go, I won't go, and this and that. And he keeps on wanting to go against the will of Hashem, even though he's shown supernatural miracles that this is not the will of Hashem. And yet his free will was so strong that Bilam was interested in transforming the will of Hashem into his will. He was so determined that he went all the way. And Reb Noson brings this as an example to show you that free will is such a strong power, and it exists at every level. For example, even in Judaism, where a person may be convinced through miracles and wonders and awesome things about the greatness and the validity of the Torah and of the tzaddikim and about Hashem, and that the world of the spirit does exist, and that you do need a spiritual belief and it's needed in everything. The evil side, for the sake of free will also use wonders and magic and mysticism and even all the type of stuff, witchcraft and everything, to get a person also on the wrong track. And by extension to this idea, also a person's free will. That it's taught in Rabbi Nachman's teachings, for example, that to do something holy is filled with obstacles. So that when you see obstacles, for example, on a very big holy devotion, the example Reb Noson brings is someone who wants to travel to come to Eretz Yisrael, to the Holy Land, or to travel to a tzaddik. It's normal and it's expected that he should face tremendous obstacles, whether financial obstacles, physical obstacles, mental obstacles. You'll have many obstacles. So the person will say, when seeing these obstacles, I must be on the right path because look at these obstacles. Reb Noson explains, but the same thing exists for people who try to do something wrong. You have someone who wants to go to learn philosophy in Berlin, for example. He gives this example somewhere in the Likutei Halachot. And the person, he has to take the train and he had no money and he was like a poor pauper and he had to beg in order to finally, he had money to buy a train ticket and to take the horses and the buggy till he finally reached Berlin. And then even when he reached these big philosophers and professors, he wasn't accepted immediately, but he was so determined until finally became somebody. So here also the logic is used. There's also obstacles here, and if there's obstacles, it's a good sign, but it's for something wrong. So Reb Noson illustrates this idea to show that in everything in life, for everything that you have in the holy side, you have also in the impure side. Your main hope to clarify the truth is prayer. By asking Hashem to open my eyes, to want to find what is the truth, so Hashem will let you from far see the truth. But again, if you are not open to that, and you want what you want, and you're determined for what you want, you will get it. You can possibly get it. But that's not necessarily the proof and indication that is the right thing. Just because you went through what you went through and you finally got it, I worked hard for this and that is not necessarily the proof that this is the right thing. The main clarification of the Bechira, the Koach HaBechira, free will, Reb Noson says something very deep, is that you throw it back to Hashem. The secret of free will is that when you admit that I cannot choose on my own, because I'm open to make major mistakes, because I see my frailty and how I'm so easily influenced by things left and right. So therefore, I can't leave it up to my own mind and intellect to make the right decisions in free will. So Reb Noson writes, ultimately, the greatest choice of free will and the greatest clarification to come to choose the right thing in life is by simply throwing it back to Hashem and asking Hashem, I want you to choose. And this applies to everything, even to having faith in Hashem. Hashem, I don't know if you're out there or not, but if you are, I'm asking you to help me, because I see and I admit on my weaknesses that I cannot on my own be expected to make the right decisions. These are just examples of how Reb Noson expresses the unbelievable extent and power of free choice and free will, and how a person is literally in danger every second of their life in all the decisions they make throughout their lifetime, that they don't know. You're choosing something, but have you made the right choice or not? So Reb Noson says ultimately it goes back to prayer, that you must throw back to Hashem, that He should guide you. We find indications of this also in the book of Psalms by King David. For example, in Psalm 25, where King David asks Hashem, Hadricheni ba'amitecha, Hashem, guide me according to your truth. Prayer is the ultimate clarification and the strength to make the proper choices in your free will in life.